If you want to write a different amount, let's say 11.2%, just write 11.2. Okay? It takes care of it automatically. One of the reasons I prefer this, it eliminates silly steps. Whenever you have a means to do so, use them. Just because I can convert them in my head to decimal doesn't mean I'm, immune from making mistakes. Sometimes you do. One thing you need to be careful, if the leading number in your percentage is 0, you have to explicitly write 0. If you write 0.25, it actually views that as a decimal and converts it to 25%. So 0.25, 25%, but 0.25 is exactly what I want. If you want to enter the decimal, enter the decimal without the leading 0. The length of time, it could have any format, but I prefer this comma format, which means it just puts 2 digits after the decimal. Let's say that's 10 years. And if you also want to communicate what that 10 means, years, months, weeks, you could even customize that without changing anything internally. Under the Home tab, pick Custom or more number formats, hit Custom, and do something like this. These hashtags mean if the number is greater than 1,000 or more, use the commas for 3 digits. The last 0 means if it starts with 0, show the 0. And these 2 means show 2 digits after the decimal. And after that, put in the expression years. Actually, let me change that. Well, we can figure that out. Oh, I remember how that works now. Because I don't want that single decimal in there. Okay. Says, please show the first 0. Again, this is only cosmetic, but if somebody's using this, they know that you're talking about years, not months or anything. And our future value is going to be dollar format as well. Something like that. All right. But in this case, we have to compute or calculate future. The way we do that in Excel using formulas, each formula starts with an equal sign. Okay? Equal means I'm going to tell you what to calculate, you go ahead and calculate. You could either use hard code references. So if I want to know the value of $1,000 invested at 10% for 10 years, I could do the following. 1,000 times 1 plus 10%. You could also write in formulas as percent instead of decimal if you're referring to specific numbers. and you raise it to the power 10. Exponentiation uses that caret sign or the hat, which is shift 6. It's the value. The trouble is, if I want to change any of the inputs, I have to go in and manually change that in the formula. So if I want to know what's that worth in 20 years, I could click on this, go to formula bar, change that to 20, or double click on any cell that contains a formula. If you double click on it, the formula comes in line. The nice thing about it is, if your sheet is zoomed, it comes in big. You cannot do anything for the formula bar. It is what it is. If your eyes are as bad as mine, you may actually need this. So if I want to know this in 20%, I need to do that. Now, certainly it's not simple. It is better than using a calculator, which means you repeat all the steps every time you need you have a different set of inputs. Instead, we're going to actually use what we call references. Now, Excel tags each cell with some sort of string. Okay? This number here, 120,000, lies in a cell called B1, column B, row 1. As far as Excel is concerned, it's just a thing. Later on, I'm going to actually show you that you can give specific names to a cell. Sometimes that's useful. You know, I have a sheet that's 20 sheet deep, and somewhere in one of the sheets, I have the input for interest. And I am on the 20th sheet. I don't remember where the interest was. Was it in B1? And in which sheet it was? I don't need to. I'm going to call that interest rate. And after that, I can refer to it directly as interest rate. But for now, we're just going to start with that. As soon as I write B1, I'm telling Excel, go to the cell that is tagged B1. Grab its value. Because it's an object, it has other things. A cell is an object that has members, it has a value, it has a format, it has a formula, number format, and all sorts of other things. Grab that, okay. Then you're going to multiply that with something. I'm going to multiply that with 1 plus the interest rate. So B2 over there means go to cell B2, grab the value, and add 1 to it, and multiply the result with the value from B1. But I also want to exponentiate it first. 20 or B3. That's all I need. Since I follow the rules for order of operations, I don't have to worry about parentheses too much. But if you want to be absolutely certain, the parentheses are on the things that's going to be multiplied with B1. Now, if I want to change any of the inputs, all I have to do is just change the input that needs to be changed. This is basically path of least computation, or least computation is exactly the same as far as the computer is concerned, but that's something that we don't see.